Do we have a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack with this episode of Chrisean and Blueface, Crazy in Love, Season 1, Episode 2, recap. Let me say that, recap, because some of y'all come into these videos thinking this is the full episode, like this YouTube platform is Zeus Network or something. This is a recap. If you want to see the full episode, go spend the $5 and watch it on Zeus, okay? It's the cost of a cheeseburger, and you get it for a month. So why y'all being cheap? Go get it, right? Welcome back to Damien After Dark. If you're new here or you have not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. If you don't know what the subscribe button is, it's right below this video. Also, make sure you like this video as well. It's below the little thumbs up button for those who don't know. That will help this video get shared throughout the YouTube community. And last but not least, join the conversation because I want to hear from you, your thoughts, opinions, views, reads, whatever you got to say. Put it in them comments because I love to see what you guys have to say. And I try my best to respond back to y'all. And before we get into this, I'm noticing my lashes are growing a lot longer. I put a little bit of mascara on them to make them pop out. I wanted to see how long they really were. But I've been using like a lash serum, and I've noticed that my lashes are longer and thicker. If any of y'all want in on that, I'll put it in the description below of what I use, and you can click it and go buy it if you want. Anyway, let's get into the review. So this episode picks up from last week where Chrisean and Blueface were in Baltimore. They were meeting Chrisean's family, right? Meeting Chrisean's family. Chrisean's been on the road. She's been filming Baddies. She's been filming this show with Blueface. She's been living in LA with him, so she really hasn't seen her family. And they've gone out to Baltimore to see her family. Now, if you remember last week, Chrisean had got into a van and sped off because she was pissed off. And she damn near ran over somebody, but we're picking up where that left off. And when she sped off out of nowhere, Blue is like, that's TV right there. That's TV right there. No, that's the problem right there. Y'all think the shit's cute, and her behavior gets encouraged and hyped up a lot by the fans, by us as viewers. So she keeps doing the shit, but it's really not funny. And you know what? The way Chrisean talks to people, which I noted in my notes, I got 4 pages of notes, and I'm gonna try to trim this down into 30 minutes. We may not get to everything, but the way she talks to some people is hard to watch. Her behavior sometimes is hard to watch. Like, is this how you treat the production, the crew, the ones who are here to help make your show, Chrisean? Is that how you treat them? I can only imagine what your relationship is like. Now, meanwhile, Chrisean's family shows up to meet with her. From her mother to her father to her 20 sisters to her aunts, uncles, cousins, stepdaddy, distant cousins, brother from another mother. I mean, everybody from the family is there for their little cameo, okay? All they heard was that Chrisean is in town and she's filming a show and they want to show up and get their moment. Now, I don't know why, but all of a sudden, Chrisean and Blueface go to a bowling alley. They head to a bowling alley, which is kind of random. Like, again, where are the confessionals? Where are the people, the talking heads like me right now, explaining to the audience what's going on? Me and Blue are headed to the bowling alley now. We're going to meet my brother here. Explain to us what's going on, because otherwise, us as the audience, we ain't got a goddamn clue. We ain't got a clue. What's going on, Zeus? Now, I'm not saying that Zeus needs my help as a producer, but Zeus needs my fucking help as a producer, okay? No shade. Call me Zeus, as I've said before. What kind of fucking show is this? Because it just feels like they have random ass people they grabbed off the street to produce this show. What is going on? Now, we're at this bowling alley. Chrisean is taking shots. She's sweating. She's eating pizza. They're not really talking about anything. Again, here we go, back to filler. Zeus loves to give us stuff just to fill the episode up and to prolong things. Now, Chrisean says at one point, while they're at the bowling alley, she tells Blue, can we just go to the room so I can love on you for a second? So, let me get this straight. You have a shitty ass attitude. You don't want to film this show that all these people are here for and a lot of money has been invested into to get done. So you'd rather just go to your room and fuck? No, baby girl, that's not how this is going down. And if this is how it's going to be for the next 10, 12 episodes, like I said last week, Y'all can keep this shit. I'm only doing it for y'all. I'm only doing this review for y'all. Because I promise you, if I was not doing YouTube reviews, this show would be skipped, in my opinion, and I'd be waiting for Baddies West to come out. I'm trying to give it a chance, and hopefully things get better. Now, I'm just wondering, like, why do we give these two a show? I'd rather see Rolly's show at this point. Anyway, Chrisean's brother, Mookie, decides he's going to go to the bowling alley to meet up with them. Now, Chrisean has a big family. And one thing I noted is that this show actually has the potential to be a hit. You know what I'm saying? When you've got a big family, you got a big cast of characters, the show can be good. Y'all remember Portia's Family Values on Bravo? It was a hit. There's always some family drama when you got a big family. There's always something brewing underneath that family tree when you got a big ass family. So give everybody in the family a confessional and we got a motherfucking show. Let's follow the family drama. Forget what Blueface and Chrisean got going back home. Let's follow Chrisean and her family and get to the root of what's really going on, right? Now, Zeus, another thing I would recommend, if they would hire a production company outside of Zeus, I feel like this show could be like, let me just shut up. Let me just shut up because they're not going to do nothing I say. Anyway, I don't know. This is the way I'm going to break it down in simple terms. You can't just put up, in reality TV, you can't just put up a camera and say, go, and just follow it and expect to get continuity. You know, we need structure. We want to be able to follow the story, and I feel like Zeus just puts a camera up and they say go and they just follow it. I mean, I guess it can work, but then you get what we're watching now, long drawn out scenes of nothing, okay? Now, Chrisean's brother is on the way to the bowling alley and he gets in the Sprinter van and I'm trying to like, dude, but one of the things he says is he's like, you know, I want to go to the club, but we can't even go to the club. I can't even go. He said, I can't even go to the club because I'm Chrisean's brother and I get recognized. Boy, if you don't sit the fuck down, have several seats, have every seat in that Sprinter van, because you mean to tell me that you go into the club and you can't party and you can't have a good time in the club because everybody comes up to you saying, oh, you Chrisean's brother. Oh, you Chrisean's brother. Stop the motherfucking lie. It's giving Stunt Queen. It's very much giving Stunt Queen because I guarantee you if you went to the club, nobody's going to recognize you. And that's no shade. It just is what it is. Like, Chrisean's a big star, yes. But even Chrisean could probably go places and people are not going to really go crazy over her. Maybe certain areas. Maybe in Baltimore. But come on now, I feel like that was a little bit of this is my first time on TV. Let me do my big one. It's the delusion and the living in your sister's shadow for me. And to be honest, her brother is too cute to be acting like that, but it's always the cute ones that are arrogant as fuck. Now, another thing I noted, y'all gonna say I'm being shady, but why do Chrisean and Blueface constantly, now watch what I'm saying, y'all. Watch what I'm saying. They constantly wiping their nose. And I don't know why. But I'm not going to speculate. Who the hell am I kidding? Yes, I am. I'm going to speculate. Because there are some addiction issues here going on. And I'm not judging. Listen, I'm not judging, okay? Let me tell y'all this. I was once addicted to pain medication, painkillers, when I got my wisdom teeth taken out. And that's a hell of an addiction. And one thing I know that it makes you do is it makes you scratch your nose a lot, okay? You're constantly doing this. Now, I'm not saying that their noses just can't be itching and they're scratching them, but y'all both are doing a lot of, and it could be Coca-Cola, allegedly. It could be pain pills. I don't know. But the addiction issues don't help when it comes to a relationship. If anything, it fuels the domestic violence situations in relationships. Now, her brother shows up and hugs Chrisean. She starts crying and he tells her, you know, we're here with you. We're here for you, Chrisean. Then she introduces her brother to Blueface and they go outside. Mookie, which is her brother's name, Mookie says, you know, he wants to talk to Blueface. And he pretty much says, you know, I want you to treat my sister right, blase, blase. Blueface talks to her brother about how Chrisean lost her tooth. on Blueface Girls Club. Y'all remember that's how, for those who don't know, that's how Blueface and Chrisean met. He had his own little YouTube show where girls kind of were fighting for his love in a bad girls club type environment. And Chrisean lost her front tooth while she was filming that show because she ran into something. Which I thought was weird that he said he feels responsible because she lost her tooth. He was like, I kind of feel responsible to be there for her and yada, yada, yada. I don't know. It was just a weird analogy. Well, not really an analogy, but a weird whatever. I just didn't get it. Now the brother, Mookie, the brother says, I'm just saying, y'all be on the internet. She's eating your toes. Eat her butt crack. You know what I'm saying? Yes, that's what he said. Let me rewind it for y'all. He said, I'm just saying, y'all be on the internet. She's eating your ass. Eat her butt crack. You know what I'm saying? Say what now? Say what now? You're telling your sister's boyfriend to eat your sister's butt crack. Make it make sense. What is you talking about, Mookie? What is you talking about? But you know what? Mookie gives me zesty Butch Queen trade vibes. So maybe he just had booty crack on the brain at that moment. Maybe he had Blueface booty crack on the brain at that moment. Maybe he wants his booty ate. But I mean, he did say he spent 7 years in jail. Okay. Now, you put me in jail with a bunch of women for 7 years, I'm gonna get some pussy. I'm just saying. You put me in jail with women for 7 years, I'm gonna get some head. I'm just saying. I'm not saying Mookie did. But it's giving me zesty. A little bit of just go back and watch. Because sometimes when you watch something for the first time, everything, you don't really notice everything. Everything don't stick out. But why are you talking about you need to eat my sister? Anyway, moving on. Now, one thing I will agree with Mookie about, that he hit the nail on the head with, he said, y'all are the definition of toxic. And I agree with him. Chrisean and Blueface are the definition of toxic. They do not need to be together. This is a very dangerous, tumultuous relationship. They both need healing. They both need therapy. And they both need to take some time away from one another. Actually, permanently take time away from one another and break up and focus on your careers. But unfortunately, people probably wouldn't pay them as much attention if they went their separate ways and were doing their own thing. People live for the drama. They live for the as sad as it sounds, the violence. And this relationship, for a lot of people, I think why people are so intrigued by it, even though a lot of us are sick of their relationship, a lot of people are intrigued by Blueface and Chrisean's relationship because they see their own relationships mirroring. You know, you watch this and you see something you've been through. I told y'all about my story here with my ex and domestic violence. I think we all, if you've ever been through a situation like that or a relationship that's toxic, you can watch this and relate, which is why I think a lot of us tune in for that. Now, this scene with the brother and Chrisean and Blueface, it's too long. Let's wrap it up. There's no reason that this entire episode should take place in that street in Baltimore in front of Johns Hopkins University. Now, we're going to get into that in a minute when the family gets to fucking fighting. I think it's Johns Hopkins University. Either way, I know I saw Johns Hopkins, which is like, what? Isn't that where Dr. Wendy from Potomac works? Or teaches at Johns Hopkins? Why are y'all outside fighting at this prestigious-ass institute? Now, Chrisean goes up to her mom because her family finally, Chrisean and Blueface finally arrived to meet the family. That's what I meant to say. I didn't mean to get to the mom just yet. But they finally arrive and the entire family is there. We see her crying as she hugs her mom. And from the looks of it, it's been a while since she's seen her family by the way they're all acting. You can tell that it's like, you know, that embrace, that hug when you haven't seen someone in a long time. As I was saying earlier, she's probably been on the road filming. When she did Blueface Girls Club, you know, she probably immediately moved to LA to be with him. So I'm sure it was hard for her family to have been away from her for so long. And I see where Chrisean gets her personality and her whoop-ass attitude from, because, listen, Chrisean's mama looked like she would beat you down. Beat you down 10 feet into the ground. 10 feet. You're going to get buried 6 feet under, and then she going to beat you down 4 more. That's what Chrisean's mama looked like. She looked like auntie you don't fuck with, okay? Now, Chrisean's sister, Taseki, now that's my girl. She's the one with the orange wig. I liked her already, but from the moment I saw her, and I'll tell y'all why. Because anybody walking down the street in an orange wig, holding a glass of wine and singing Rihanna, you are my girl. Hey, we could be friends. Anybody knows me, y'all know, even my viewers, y'all know how much I love me some Rihanna. So if you want to be my friend, just hit a few notes of Rude Boy or Umbrella or Cheers. That's what old girl was singing in there. And I drink to that. Yeah. Y'all know that song. I drink to that. I can't hit that note. Now, tell me why Blueface is the one having to produce this shit. Blueface is the one producing shit. So Blueface, Chrisean is talking to him, and the family's over here. Now she's over here with Blueface, like talking to him, and she's like, I want you to come with me, babe. I want you to come with me. And Blue's like, you need to go out there and talk to your family first so we can get that on camera. And I'm like, really? Blueface is having to do this? It's such a shit show. And Zeus is, I guess, not smart enough to edit that part out, that Blueface is having to, look, somebody should say, hey, Chrisean, we need to get a scene with you and your family first, with you reuniting with them. So can you come over here, Blueface, you come over here, then we'll get a scene with all y'all together. Like, what is going on here? Do better, Zeus. Do better. Isn't Natalie a producer on this show? That must be why it's a hot fucking mess. That must be why. Now, one of the other sisters, that's Blueface and Chrisean, they go up and walk to the family. I guess Chrisean's not going to go by herself after all. I don't know. Anyway, they go up to the family and they start talking. And one of the sisters comes in hot all of a sudden and talks about the mistreatment of Chrisean, like Chrisean is some perfect angel who has been battered and abused, like she hasn't swung on this man before first. And I'm starting to think, honestly, that Chrisean is the main aggressor in their relationship, if I'm being real with y'all. And I'm team women all day. When it comes to men putting their hands on women, I've seen my mom be abused by my stepdad growing up. I've seen domestic violence. I don't agree with it at all. It's horrendous for anybody to witness. And like I said, I'm team women. I love women, and I'm always going to root for women, especially black women. But in this case, Chrisean, you seem like the aggressor in a lot of these situations. Now, I just want to know why the sister is doing the most. First of all, her face is blurred. You don't want to be on camera, but you want to get a moment by coming and getting up in this man's face, being disrespectful as fuck, talking about, look at me when I talk to you. Now, what kind of response are you going to get from anybody if you tell them to look at me when I'm talking to you? You think they're just going to say, okay, yes, ma'am? No, it don't work that way, sweetie. And you're looking for a moment, because truly, if you didn't want to be on camera, you wouldn't have even been there. But you're looking for attention while you want your face blurred, but you want to be all up in the camera at the same time. I can't stand thirsty ass bitches like that. You need some Aquafina, baby. You need some Aquafina. And who are you? You're not Blueface's mother. Pipe all the way down. And he's better than me, y'all. Honestly, I have to commend Blueface, because he handled it a lot better than I would have handled it. I would have said, y'all can either come at me correct with respect, and then we can talk. Because all that in my face, rah, threatening bullshit, that ain't gonna fly. Because the man ain't done nothing to him. He's come to them humbly with respect, calmly, speaking to them calmly. And I get they're upset that their sister has been in these situations, but y'all don't know the full story. You can't say that Blue just beats on this girl. We ain't seen that as the we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. But I take like some of y'all ever seen the Instagram video of them in the bowling alley? Coincidentally, the bowling alley again. And Blueface or Chrisean just walked up to Blueface out of nowhere and punches him. Now I don't know the backstory to that. Did he hit her first? We don't know, but there was a lot of time in between that moment where she went up to him and punched him. I'm just saying, I don't think she's a saint like her family is trying to make her out to be. Now, next, the father steps in. Chrisean's father steps in, gets in his face, and I instantly see that the family came with an agenda. They came with the motive to show him who's boss and to pretty much say, look, you're not going to put your hands on my daughter. You're not going to talk to my daughter any kind of way. And look, rightfully so. I think they just have the misconception that he is the only violent one, that he starts all this. And they're wanting to defend their daughter. And I get that, okay? I'm not faulting them for that. But nobody's going to get in my face and talk to me like a dog, period. The father brings up Blueface getting physical, and Blue says, what about your daughter putting her hands on me first? Did you teach your daughter to not put your hands on men? Okay, let's really talk about it. Chrisean says that she's drunk. She seems to somewhat try to get them to stop, you know, to de-escalate things. But the family says, we're trying to talk on your behalf. And then things start to heat up a bit. And the sister is yelling at Chrisean. Chrisean is trying to hold back Blueface and protect him. Not really hold him back because he's not doing anything, but she's trying to protect him. Because I think she knows what her family is capable of at this point. Now, the father and Blueface walk off separately for a moment and try to talk alone. And the dad pretty much says, you know, well, when a woman hits me, I just take it. I got stabbed once and went to the hospital. I just take it. You a damn lie. Can't nobody tell me that you just gonna get hit and sit there and take it. Now, I don't know. I don't want to say the father's lying, but I think he's lying. I mean, you mean to tell me you've been hit and stabbed and all this shit and you didn't defend yourself? Or are you just trying to prove your point because you on camera? Like, I don't know. I don't know. But this is my thing. If a woman hits me, you're getting back. You're getting hit back. I don't care if you got a dick, a pussy, or both. You put your hands on me, you're going to get this work. Period. And I think everybody should have that right to defend themselves. If a woman puts herself in a man's shoes and wants to hit me, it's on. That's all there is to it. Again, Blueface is handling all this a lot better than I would. And I never in a million years thought I would be on his side. Usually I'm on the woman's side, but I can only tell y'all what I'm seeing at this moment. Now, out of nowhere, did y'all notice how one of the sisters just picks up a glass that she's drinking out of and throws it at the hotel or the building and it lands in the bushes? And I'm like, what warranted that? Nobody was saying anything that warranted her to just throw something. Like, the thirst is seeping through the screens. Like, I just want to give baby girl a big old bottle of smart water and say, drink up. Drink up. Just, I don't get it. Can y'all, they're acting like the whole family is acting like they've never been out in public before. You know what I'm saying? You know how you go somewhere and you see a kid who ain't never really been out in public before and they're acting a motherfucking fool and you just want to whoop their ass because their parents ain't doing shit. That's what's going on in this situation. Now, mama started spitting straight facts, though. The mama started spitting straight facts because she said, you came up because of her. She says, you was down before that, Blue. You came up because of her. Now, I do agree with that somewhat. I do. He was, like I said before in previous videos, Blueface wasn't really popping before he and Chrisean got together. He had one song that stuck, and we didn't really hear from him after that. I really do think, though, as I've said, I'm not going to get too deep into this again, but they upped each other's stock, okay? If Blueface wasn't with Chrisean, I don't think Chrisean would have been, I think she would just be, you know, a reality star and that's it. She wouldn't really be all over the headlines and the public eye. And same for him. You know, I think they really needed each other. But at some point, y'all got to check out because this relationship is just, It's too much. And I understand. I get a lot of comments from y'all who say you can't watch this because it's triggering. And I get it. Listen, I get it. Because there's a lot of real shit going on. You can tell this show is not produced. We can tell that, right? It's far from, there's no producing in this show at all. It's just put the camera up, let's roll. So we're getting real raw shit. But sometimes you need a little bit of producing so we can tell what's going on. Now, Chrisean seems over it at this point. I would too. She's just like sitting there rolling her eyes, face red, mad as hell. She just wants to go home and go back to the room and fuck. That's what Chrisean wants to do. We are getting nowhere. Now, Lemmy, y'all know who Lemmy is. He owns Zeus Network. He's always in the background. Lemmy, I'm gonna need you to put some bass in your voice and stop being so goddamn timid. Because everybody's outside fighting and yelling and screaming and hollering, and the crowd is watching her like, what's going on? You know, got all these people just yelling and hollering and screaming. And then you got Lemmy, the owner of Zeus, over there like, hey guys, hey guys, like, man, you want these people to respect you and respect your set? I need you to put some bass in your voice and be like, hey, listen, if y'all want y'all's goddamn check, you gonna shut the fuck up and settle down. Like, I need you to get a megaphone, stand on top of the motherfucking Zeus car and yell at these motherfuckers. Do something. Because everybody's acting fucking crazy. Now, we see Mookie, which is the brother. At one point, he goes up and whispers in the father's ear. And the way it's edited, it looks like that he's telling the father to go hit Blueface. Because as soon as he whispers into his father's ear, the father goes right around and does exactly that. Punches Blue right in the face. And then it's all out. Motherfucking war. There's a brawl in the street. Because the oldest one, the father, wants to act the youngest. The oldest person out there in the street is acting the youngest, and he lays hands on someone first. Now, like I said, I see where Chrisean gets her ways from. She's had a childhood where she's probably experienced domestic violence, verbal assault, just trauma, all around trauma. Like, I'm seeing when I look at her family where she gets all this from. Now, Blue did get his lick back. He did get his lick back, though, because he runs up on her dad and busts him all in his face. Daddy got blood running out of his nose, out of his lip. He's spitting out blood. And I'm like, I don't feel bad for her dad. You started this shit. And y'all really think that Chrisean is going to leave her man and choose her family? No, she's running after Blueface. You know, Blueface is running around this road, trying to duck and dodge the family, trying to defend himself. And she's running after him. That's her man, and she gonna stick beside him. But, oh, man, you started it. You wanted blood. You wanted to be blood. You wanted to be gang, and you got gang. You got what you wanted. And like I said, they're literally in front of John Hopkins doing this. John Hopkins University fighting, acting like this. Like, really? And I don't know why ain't nobody leaving, because y'all know the law is coming. Nobody's leaving. Everybody's just acting a fool. At one point, they tried taking Blueface inside of this hotel or this building. I don't know if it was John Hopkins they were trying to take him inside of. But the two white men outside the front was probably so scared. They was like, they said it. They were like, no, get back. No. They were on the phone, so worried. And again, in this moment, this would have been a moment where the producer's role was important. Why did nobody, as soon as that fight broke out, protect the talent? At that moment, when a fight broke out, y'all should have grabbed Chrisean. Y'all should have, grabbed Blue, security, get them in a Sprinter van, get out of here. That's a wrap. The scene is over. As soon as it starts getting violent like that, especially in public, it's a wrap. I could see if they were in like a house, they had their own space, they were doing all this fighting in, okay, we want to get our footage, yada, yada, yada. But y'all outside, it's getting physical and violent now. It's a wrap. Let's get our talent back to the hotel room. Let's get them somewhere safe, because it's a liability. It's a fucking liability. And again, here go the sisters. The sisters, they're all in Chrisean's face, yelling at her because she's taking his side. The sister with the orange hair, her ass is hanging out. She's barefoot, acting a motherfucking fool. Just acting a fool. Like I said, you got the white folks on the sidewalk looking like they don't know what the hell going on. And then they're going to end the episode Well, the police do show up, by the way. We hear sirens and the police show up, and then they're going to end the episode with a tweet. They put a tweet on the screen from Blueface saying, "I'm her daddy now." That took me out. I don't know why it did, but that took me out, okay? But that was the end of this episode. It was a lot better than last week's episode. I'm gonna have to say that. Now, Zeus, this should have been the premiere episode. You know, I'm gonna give this episode a 6 out of 10. It was better. We could still do better than what we did, but we did better than last week. I want to hear what you guys have to say. What do you think about this episode? What do you think about Chrisean's father punching Blue in the face? Did he step out of line, or do you feel like he was just defending his daughter and doing the right thing? Also, what do you think about her sisters out there, the whole family as a whole? How do you feel about her family and her meeting up with them? And how do you feel about this show overall since you've seen episodes 1 and 2? I want to hear your comments. Make sure you guys join the conversation. Chime in by commenting below. Also, share this video. Or not share this video, I'm sorry, like this video by hitting the thumbs up button right below. That's going to help share the video throughout the YouTube community. And last but not least, subscribe. I'm so close to my subscriber count that I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're so fucking close, and I can't do it without y'all. I thank each and every one of you for supporting my channel, watching my videos, liking, subscribing. You guys are like my family. I love you so much. Thank you for supporting me. I'll see you soon on Damien After Dark. Mwah. See ya.